Good morning, 9 o'clock, June 12th, 2023. What is different about me as you look at me? Instead of me just telling you what it is, that's what I was going to do. Getting an audio check. Yep, there's audio. Okay, it's June 12th, 2023 on a Monday morning. Here we go again, another week. They go by way too fast. Taking a look at chat room. Well, let's see. Today's show is Windows Daily number 235. Then come back to chat. Alice came in with the first comment. I'm looking forward to today's stream. That was 2:55 a.m. this morning. Wow. Darren Gilholm, Bobby, Jesse Pinkman. Oh, Jesse, we played. Jesse was one of our partners this morning in Fortnite. We got a win and we got a crown victory, which means we won two games in a row. And our third game we didn't win, but we had a good game. Welcome, good to see you here, Jesse. Chris Garrett, Bobby Warren, Dennis. Looks like YouTube took away my reactions capability in stream settings. I still see yours and other streamers though. So if YouTube took it away, Dennis, are you saying that when you go into YouTube Studio over here and you go to customization, that the checkbox for live reactions is no longer there? Is that what you're saying? Coming back here, let's see if what people saying about what looks different to me. What looks different about me? No, I don't see any comments there about what's different when you look at me. Bobby, there's a lot of conversation in here that I've already read through, conversations between Bobby and others in the chat who are making comments about his internet issues. I'm not going to read through all of those, but Bobby is getting, I see him talking with people on Carrie's streams and my streams and Ken Stout's streams, and he's getting plenty of help. So I'm not going to read out all of those comments. If you guys are wanting me to read something in there, hit me in orange on one of those comments. Otherwise, I'm going to skip over them. Dennis, yeah, he's identifying what he means about the hearts down here in the bottom right corner. I'm going to move pretty quickly to Alice's troubleshooting issue. The box, never had that on YouTube streams about the hearts. This is talking about the techs that are working on Bobby's issue. And that's more on that same subject. Third-party tag, personal number. James, let's see, buried cable, Monday, rain. James Bond, hello. Tim Sowell, hello. Selden Ball, Oystein. I'm not sure that I don't think I skipped over anybody's name as I was scrolling through those quickly. Tim's not at work. Well, he has interacted with us in the chat room from work. He has enough flexibility in his work to do that. Roy Carr, yes, you guys are helping each other when someone has questions, and please continue doing that. Just because I don't read through it doesn't mean I want you to stop doing it. Please, no, absolutely do that stuff. But I'm going to skip over some of that. And Dennis says, yes, he couldn't find that checkbox. So that checkbox is actually gone. Now I knew that they were only releasing that. It was A/B testing. Some channels would get it and some didn't, but Dennis, it sounded like he used to have it and they took it away, which is odd. Lawn Dog, did you know I set up a computer the other day, a laptop, could not install any programs on it. Windows 11, yep, thanks to Wintermute. He pointed out yep, I was going to say Windows 11S. Yeah, so it's a computer that he set it up. That doesn't mean he built it. That doesn't mean he did a fresh install of Windows. He was setting up a computer that was pre-installed with Windows. Killing it on Fortnite. Yes, we are. And this season, it's all about killing opponents and getting victories. Further found out the person purchased the computer was told a lot of things about the operating system, but it just did not click mentally with them on what it really meant. I like you went home kind of frustrated, wondering what the heck was wrong with that computer. I, like you, went home kind of frustrated, wondering what the heck was wrong with that computer. About ready to hit the buttons to see if it will get out of S mode. Yeah, it's easy to get out of S mode. Very easy. It's a quick switches out of S mode. but you can't, I don't think you can go back to S mode, but your client there clearly didn't want S mode. So nobody said what's different about me is I'm not wearing my headset, because just before I punched the go live button, I realized I didn't turn this on yet. And when I turn it on, it freezes XSplit for longer than I want to wait. So I should be okay without the headset as long as I don't have Zoom running. Now, Alice, let me bring up some information that we received back from Alice. I don't think I saw her comment in chat since we started the stream. And her first comment in chat was quite a long time ago. So she sent me an email with the results of Crystal Disk Info and Crystal Disk Mark. I'm going to show you those numbers. Get this all positioned right. So here's Crystal Disk Mark. These look like good numbers to me for a spinning hard drive. 196 and 191 on the reads and writes on the top row. Now these down here, we don't seem to talk about very much. These up here are sequential reads and writes. But typically when a program is running, there's some fragmentation of files. And I think that's what's going on here, is when you're dealing with smaller files and maybe not contiguous. How low can these numbers be without causing a problem? Then go to the next picture. Here's Crystal Disk Info. We got a Seagate 2 terabyte drive, and it's reading health status for the Smart Info is saying good and 48 degrees. We got a 7200 RPM, power turned on that many times and power on for that number of hours. Those strike me as reasonable. Now I can't scroll. She sent me photos. So this scroll bar is scrolled down to the bottom. We're not seeing the top of these detailed items. I think that's, that's scroll bar is down at the bottom. I can tell because that's a rectangle inside the background. I was questioning, is this the scroll box up here? But no, this is it down here. So we're not seeing the top items. I'm not really asking for Alice to redo that, but I would normally look through each of these items, because I have seen cases where there's problems represented down here that is not represented up here. Spin retry count is 0. The numbers that have zeros, are they problem messages? Power cycle account? No, that's not a problem. Vendor specific? Not a problem. Looking for the ones that have numbers. Command timeout. Command timeout, that looks like a huge number. Command timeout, that sounds like when a request has been made on the drive and it times out. I didn't even notice this one when I looked through the photos when I first looked at them, but that's a very, very high number, it looks like to me. Now this says current is 100, worst is 99, which is weird. This whole thing here, how they show these, the current number currently is showing 100. The worst it's ever been is 99. What? The worst it's ever been is less than what it's showing current? That doesn't make sense. These column headings have never made sense to me with Crystal Disk Info. So I discount that. But is this one called command timeout? If somebody wants to go research that, is that a concern? What words show up here, what categories of information shows up varies from one drive manufacturer and model to another. So it's not surprising to find something there that I haven't noticed that option before, or that number. High fly writes is raw value is 4. Now, how these raw values correlate with current and worst and threshold, I think these raw values are more significant to look at than these numbers over here. I'm not even sure that they are valid. And then airflow temperature. Well, I wouldn't be worried. That looks like a high number, but it produces this 48 degrees Celsius, apparently. G, sensor error rate is 0. Power off retract count, that wouldn't be of concern. Load unload cycle count. I really don't think there's anything in here of concern, but I'm just pointing out that you should look at these detail items, because I have come across occasions where there's something in here. In fact, I think I even came across something that had a red dot down here, where it's all showing blue and good up here. Head flying, hours, total host rights, total reads. So that's all I can get there. I'm not able to scroll up and see what else is there. We have a SATA 600, 600, so that's about the best you're going to get on a spinning drive. Those are the two things that I have from Alice. Now, I have other conversation to have with Alice, one-way conversation, of course, here, sort of one way. Let's see, that was all the information on the list. Well, Alice, try moving this scroll bar up and down. The fact that there's a scroll box here at all indicates there is something else. So try scrolling there, because this is telling me there is more info. She's saying here that's all the information on the list. Now, let's see, I was up here. Ken has a live schedule, by the way. Thank you, because I checked before starting the stream, and he did not have one scheduled. Thank you for letting me know. I will go schedule that. And when I showed this live reaction, Dennis might have noticed that I did not have a redirect set up. I do not see that Ken has a show. All right, let's go see over here. Does Ken have a show? Ken Stout Live. He does. Not today. It's not today. June 12th. No, it is today. He must have scheduled that yesterday. Well, why is it not showing up? Let's try a refresh on this page. I'm on the right channel. My channel is set right. I wouldn't be able to get into YouTube Studio for live Windows training if it wasn't set right. There it is. Was that there last time I came into this screen? Well, I did the refresh. So he may have scheduled it after I opened this tab this morning, and that's why it didn't show. Okay. Thank you, Dennis. Yes, Tim is at work. Freaking Monday. Let's see. Chat. Alice is here. Let's do that. Microsoft Store. Anyways, okay. Those aren't highlighting me in orange. I didn't quite understand what the conversation there was. I can still toggle on and off. Ken can still toggle on and off. I'm sure Microsoft S mode, Best Buy, all the information on the list. Nicholas Hooks. Doug, that makes two of us when we're looking at Crystal Disk mark information. There's some really confusing stuff. What they're trying to convey is unclear and interpreted to what it means. Yes. I just noticed, Jesse, just noticed the mini Doug behind me. Did you notice this mini Doug, or did you notice the other mini Dougs? I'm not going to point out where they are. How many other mini Dougs do you see, Jesse? We'll redo and resend. I have more other things for you, Alice, that I think are more significant. So we'll have a conversation here in a moment. I'm not going to deal with news here. I don't mind you put that in, Dennis. I'm just not going to read it into the show. How good are you with Microsoft Mail, which comes with every machine? I use Microsoft Mail as a term because I'm confused at the terminology Microsoft sometimes uses for its emailing product. So I'm identifying as Microsoft Mail. This comes on every machine. Windows 10 and 11, I need to know if you're really familiar with how to do things. Well, how familiar am I? I'm a computer technician. How familiar do I need to be to fix things? I routinely go to work on software and configurations that I've never seen before, and I can find the solution for it. So I don't have to know the solution before I deal with a problem. You can ask your problem. I do not have to already be familiar with it, but I am familiar with Microsoft Mail. This is Microsoft Mail here. I'm going to take it off screen because I'm not sure how I have this configured, and see what I will expose here. It looks okay to me. So this is Microsoft Mail. It's a mail program. You know, how familiar does a mechanic have to be with a particular year, make, model of a car to fix it? Yeah. So ask your question. But I need to get on to the conversation I want to have with Alice. Speedy C, hi Doug in chat. Doug, it's the second time I've been able to join you on your Fortnite stream. The streams are interesting to watch. Plus, I'm glad I could help. Thank you. I was happy to see you there. I didn't. Jesse says he didn't see the other two. And that's right. There were other two. With your chat problem in chat yesterday is what he was happy to help with. I think that had to do with the hearts. I don't remember what that was. Okay, that's okay. You don't need to clarify what that is. I want to talk to Alice. Alice, let's see. I need to bring up some notes here. Let's see. You've told us that it got more sluggish over time over the last few months. The PC hasn't always been sluggish. A question that I have not asked you, is there anything else about the computer that feels sluggish to you? Now, it's quite possible everything else that you do with your computer is not very taxing on its capabilities. So it could be that there is something wrong with the computer on a computer level that's only noticed when you're in the Sims 4 game. Next, I have so that's question one. Do you notice sluggishness in anything else with the computer? If the answer is yes, then that has meaning to us. If the answer is no, then that's an indeterminate question. Here's another one. Do you do anything else with the computer that you think is taxing on it, such as other games? Video editing, email and web browsing, that's not taxing on a computer. Then you said the game has been sluggish over time. What is sluggish about the game? Now, every time I ask a person, what is the sluggishness that you're complaining about, I have to give multiple choice before they can really understand, oh, that's how I could answer it. So with the Sims 4 game, my understanding is, and what I've seen of it is you essentially build a house, assemble a house. Maybe there's other structures, maybe there's office buildings, but it can have many different rooms. As you're building it, there's things happening on screen. As you select certain types of room, or certain furniture in a room, is that stuff sluggish? Once you have your house built, or even as you're building it, you can have yourself as one character. You can have family members, spouse, kids, parents, grandparents. You can have neighbors, apparently. You can have like a mailman. You can have other service people that are coming to your house. You can have friends. Each of those are individual simulations. When you're looking at your house with only your own character, is there sluggishness as your character is moving around and doing things? Or does the sluggishness only occur when there's multiple different characters? Oh, you can also have pets. So each of them is an individual simulation. Now, if you're just watching the action occur, is there sluggishness, or do you have to be moving the camera? You can turn your camera, your view around. Is that sluggish? These are types of answers that would give us clues as to what's going on. Now, we're highly suspicious about the amount of RAM memory, the capabilities of a spinning hard drive as Windows 10 has developed over time and Sims 4 has developed over time, become more demanding. It could be that your 8 gigabytes of RAM is just no longer sufficient to experience the game without sluggishness. The spinning drive could be an issue. So we can do an upgrade on memory. We can do an upgrade on the hard drive. The CPU is not going to be upgradable at all, but is your CPU, now maybe somebody already checked on this. We've already shown what your CPU is. Is it Windows 11 capable? If it's not, then perhaps you're going to be looking at buying a new computer in the next couple of years anyway, because you've only got till, I think it's November. Is it November or October of 2025 that Windows 10 is no longer going to be supported by Microsoft? Now, it's possible you might be able to continue with Windows 10 in Sims 4 after that, but pretty much everybody around here is going to be recommending you that's not a good idea, because you're not assured from Microsoft of getting proper security updates. Now, people can go without the supported operating system. I've had people do it and without troubles, but it's really ill-advised, and none of us are gonna around here are gonna say you are okay if you do that. Now, I'm not going to excommunicate you if you do that, but now, what maybe you guys already told me, is it Windows 11 capable? Alice says not Windows 11 capable. Are you willing to buy a new computer? Now we can help you with the selection of that around here. If you're willing to buy a new computer, then it may not be really very smart of us to try to pursue what is causing your sluggishness. Now let's see. I got some responses from Alice, so I need to find out what they are. The computer seems fine otherwise, slower over time, but with the game it freezes. Okay, that's not sluggish, that's freezing. Now, what do you mean by freezing? Does it like hesitate, like is like a movie film where the projector is herky jerky? Is that what you mean by freezing, or does it totally lock up and nothing moves and you have to bail out of the game by ending task? So what does your use of the word freeze mean? Slow to load up and shut down. So once loading all of your sims, even if you have sims created that are not on screen right now, when you load the program, it still has to load those into memory in order for it to know that they are not in the current view or don't currently have activity. Now, even if they're not in the current view, those sims are still running in the background. They have to be running in the background for the simulation of your postman, your mail delivery carrier, to know if it's time to show up on screen. So that simulation is still running in the background, even if the postman is not visible on the screen right now. Now, this is all my deduction, just thinking through the way it must operate this way. This is not from my research on the game. Slow to load up and shut down. So exiting the game is slow. That is all hard drive. Spinning hard drive is going to be slower than an SSD. And you say, well, it used to be faster. Yeah, but there's been Windows updates. The Windows 10 environment is more complicated than it used to be. There's your Kaspersky antivirus is evaluating everything that's loading, trying to see if there's anything wrong there. Is your Kaspersky up to date? How about disabling your Kaspersky and see if it loads faster and shuts down faster? Yes, sluggishness with characters and pets. So as you're watching the scene, is the characters are herky-jerky? That's a technical term. That's a Doug technical term because that really gives me a clear image. Are the characters herky-jerky? Do the characters individually freeze up while other characters are still moving? That's telling a CPU and graphics card and memory and your drive. It'll be responsible for all of those. I did a test yesterday and lowered the graphics in the game and made an exception on Kaspersky, so it did not run scans or so in the game. I did a test and not Windows 11 capable. Yes, hesitation in games sometimes. Hesitation in the game. Does that mean the characters individually hesitate or everything hesitates at the same time? I'm not sure if the answer to that's going to take us one direction or another. It may or may not. Now, let me understand this better. I did a test yesterday, lowered the graphics in the game, and made an exception in Kaspersky, so it did not run scans or so in the game. Okay, so the exception would probably have been an exception for the game, probably the executable file for the game, or it could have been an exception for the entire folder, for the game folder. It could have been to tell Kaspersky to suspend its operations when a game is running. So I think maybe I'd like to know exactly what exception did you make? Not Windows 11 capable, hesitation in the game sometimes. No other comments yet from Alice. Lawn Dog Roy, brand new computer, nothing. Okay, that's that's the Windows S computer probably. Just wipe everything, reinstall. That's the Windows S. Normally, a Sims 4 has single family homes with NPCs and other Sims coming over to visit. Does Alice have expansion packs that change the description, like city living? Yes, in one of Alice's original emails, she told me you can have expansion packs, but I don't think she specified whether she has installed expansion packs. Let's see. Yes, it's through the EA app, which you can download from the website. It has many game packs you can buy to build the game up. Have you purchased game packs? Either whether they cost money or not. Have you added game packs? You told me that you can buy them, but I don't know if you did. Now, she at one point said she thought it might be the graphics card because the PC is 5 years old. We have identified that this computer has integrated graphics, meaning the CPU chip itself is the graphics um, provider. You don't have a separate graphics adapter in that all-in-one Lenovo PC. Now, all-in-one Lenovo PCs could have a graphics card. We need your serial number to find out. I don't have your serial number yet. Do you need me to review how to find the serial number? Tell me that in chat, Alice, and I'll go show you how to do that again. And coming back here, I am looking to get a new PC, probably all-in-one again with 2 terabyte, looking for i7. Please let us see those specs before you make your choice. Come and let us comment on the specifications for the computer you're interested in, and you want an all-in-one. Now, some of you in the chat room are going to argue against that. Let it go. Let it go. Alice likes all-in-one PCs. I like all-in-one PCs for certain people. I don't currently have an all-in-one PC for myself. I have had in the past. Let it go. She likes all-in-one PCs, accept that, and let's help her get a good all-in-one PC. There are all-in-one PCs that have graphics adapters. They are dedicated graphics, although you can't open up the box, pull out that graphics card, and put it into a regular tower. It's not that kind of graphics card, but it is dedicated graphics card, proprietary for that computer. Then let's see what else. Yes, everything at the same time. So the whole screen, everything on the screen locks up at the same time. That is screaming to me the drive, because it's now I may not be right about that, but I'm thinking, well, no, because the simulation is in the CPU and memory. That's where it runs. However, the swap file, oh, that's a big thing. If your active simulation is too large for this 8 gigabytes of memory, and it's having to offload some of it to the swap file, that could be very difficult for it to decide, what am I going to offload to the swap file, because it's all needed. It's all active right now. So what we'd like to see for that, Alice, is bring up Task Manager and have it open. Maybe, I don't know, no, you only have one screen, so you can't have it open at the same time. But if you have the game running and it freezes up, you can come down here to this minimize task manager. Here's what the icon looks like when it's minimized. When the screen freezes on you, come down here and click on this. If it opens up for you, which it didn't for me, come on, come up. Oh, I know what you can do with that. Why is it coming back for me? That is, oh, no, I'm sorry. Is that hardware info? No, there's hardware info. Control Shift Escape. Okay, just do Control Shift Escape and take either a screenshot or a photo here. You might have trouble doing a screenshot since the computer's locked up at this point, but you can always on top. Go to this options menu, choose always on top, and then just drag it down here to the bottom to where you can just see these top numbers. In fact, let us see the first 2 items up here. And then let's sort that in memory, descending order. We're also interested in sorted by disk, descending order. So you got the game, you can have the game running, and this task manager will stay on top of the game. I think it'll do that when you're playing a game. The rules might be different with a game. And take a screenshot with Control Shift Win. No, what is it? Control. Come on. Control Shift Windows key, isn't it? Control Windows. Control. No. Control Shift Windows key S. That's it. Shift Windows key S, and then you get this kind of area here. Now you could just go ahead and give us a screenshot of everything that, including the game, and that'll show us what's happening with Task Manager at the time. Of course, you won't have my picture-in-picture on because you don't have my camera on your computer. All right, so that could be very helpful because that may show, and it's also showing us the GPU percentage. So that's a good line for us to see. And I'll just go ahead and leave Task Manager up there. Now, where was I at? Let's see, Alice's comments, new PC, everything the same time. I have a few add-ons. Oh, it's time for me to send you off to Ken's. She has a few add-ons. No, but I can find it. Thank you. Oh, for the serial number. Yeah, give us the serial number. There's the serial number. So anyone who wants to go search that on the serial number, you can do that. And I will do that too, but we're not going to do that during the show because it's time for me to send you off. Some viewers may be recommending Alice get a new SSD, more RAM, discrete. Why put that much into an older computer? Yes, I agree. Let's not upgrade anything on this computer. Totally dismiss all of those ideas about upgrading because you should not be upgrading this computer. On the chance, a chance that a memory upgrade, chance that an SSD is going to fix the problem for 2 years, when you're already okay with buying a new computer, let's talk about you switching to a new computer because you're still able to play the game, right? Lawn Dog says he would not criticize a person. I was not referring to you specifically, but I just want to put that to bed. All right, so time for me to send you off to Ken Stout. There's my email address. Forgot what that's called. Go figure that out. I'm going to end the stream today from YouTube Studio. So that should, my understanding is I'll send you very quickly to Ken's show unless you first, let's see what I do. Unless you first pause the video. Like I'm pausing the video here because I don't want this screen to get sent over to Ken's show, but my other tab should get sent over to Ken's show. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0, click. Whoops, sorry. 3, 2, 1, 0, click.